Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Carlo Pomintuan.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Diego Dario. And in tonight's game plan, we'll break down the top PBA teams and their players in the ongoing Governor's Cup after the Christmas weekend.
Then we'll start our series of NBA hot takes per team. Tonight, we will begin with Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. And we'll check in with 2021 Asian Karate Championship silver medalist, Jamie Lim. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. This Christmas was a holiday to remember for PBA fans after witnessing live PBA action on Christmas Day for the first time in 2 years. PBA champion JV Casio joins us tonight as my partner and PBA Rush analyst Diego Dario breaks down the top PBA teams in the current standings. Good JV, thank you so much for joining us here in the game.
Hi, Kuya JV.
Hi, Diego. Hi, Carlo. Thank you. Thank you again. Happy to be here, as always.
We wish you well, JV. We hope that you'll be ready to see action again for the Blackwater Bossing come the new year. But pag-usapan muna natin yung mga teams that are currently at the top of the rankings. Of course, the number one team right now, the Magnolia, Pambansang Manok Hotshots, the hottest team in the league, 3-0 undefeated. They've been outstanding. They picked up a big win against defending champion Barangay Ginebra on Christmas Day. JV, what is Magnolia doing right here in this conference so far?
Well, unang-una siguro, yung games nila from last conference, they brought it here in this conference. And having Mike Harris as an import really stabilizes them. They have that energy, yung press nila or yung pressure defense nila with those guards, and like Calvin Agueva also, his energy is there. And there is now the stabilizer who is controlled and veteran leadership of Mike Harris. So magandang compliment sa kanila yon, and it works and it shows ngayon early this season pa lang.
Now, Diego, I'll also have to ask you, every time that Magnolia is playing, you will either have Paul Lee, Mark Barroca, or a Gio Halalon, a combination of the three on the floor. How difficult is it as a point guard to know na kahit anong mangyari, ang taas ng level ng point guard play nitong Magnolia?
Well, aside from their offense, Gio Halalon is a threat on offense. He can drive, get to the paint. He's been having great numbers in terms of assists. Mark Barroca will always be a steady presence, and then si Paul Lipan and Jan will always be a lethal scorer. But I think it's really their defense. As a point guard, matatakot ka even if you're a starter or a bench. There's gonna be Mark Barroca who's hounding you the whole time while you're trying to set up a play. And then Gio Halalon is there if you're going off the bench. So you really have to be careful. You really have to work for your offense to work when you're playing against this Magnolia defense. And tama nga si Kuya JV. It's their defense that's working for them, and then yung offense, they just push the pace and get easy baskets in transition.
One final question about Magnolia, bibigay natin kay JV Casio. Of course, JV, you played alongside Mike Harris. You competed with him against this team, against Magnolia in the finals. So what does he bring to the table? Even at 38 years of age, he is the oldest import we have on the field, but he is one of the best right now.
Parang di halata na oldest.
Galing talaga. What does he do in practice para panatilihing mataas yung kanyang performance?
Kung makita nyo lang sa practice, how he works hard, not really work hard that he runs all the time. He has his own pace. Pero after practice, he uses his bonds, works out with his, and he brings people along. Magandang teammate talaga si Kuya Mike Harris, di ba? Pero it's just yung presence niya and his leadership. He is very experienced, and mararamdaman mo . And like I said, yung pag-stabilize niya on a pressure or fast-paced team, it complements really on how the team will go.
Okay, now moving forward to the Meralco Bulls, the number 2 team. Their record is 2-0 right now. Dalawang laro pa lamang yung nalalaro nila. But we're already seeing a lot of great things, specifically from their import, Tony Bishop. Diego, we know that Meralco has had a great run with Allen Durham. Pero ano yung ibang binibigay nitong si Tony Bishop that, Meralco's hoping would bring them into the finals again?
Well, Tony Bishop is not going to be an Allen Durham in terms of his impact on the game. Coach Norman said that na Tony Bishop is not the guy. You'll give him the ball, he'll dominate and just create for your team. He wants to be involved in the system. He can shoot from the outside. He can space the floor for Meralco. And it's been working for them. And one thing I like about what Meralco's doing right now is they're trying to push the pace. Usually, they're a set-up team. They want to run their sets. Right now, I see the difference. They're trying to make more stops, get rebounds, and then run in transition. Because Tony Bishop can also run and outrun the other imports of the other teams.
Now, JV, for the Meralco Bulls, alam natin that they've been successful, at least in the past couple of editions ng Philippine Cup. Now, how important is that, knowing that even all Filipino, kaya nyo nang lumaban, no? Kaya nyo nang umangat papunta sa semifinals? How important is that now that they have a really good import joining them?
It's very important. It started siguro sa core nila ng team. Nandyan yung core nila for so many years, and it went to the finals, and they added some pieces that works that they thought that it would work for them, like Almasan, Pinto is playing awesome. So, and having Tony Bishop now on this team, not a go-to guy, like Coach Norman said it, but yung gumagalaw rin siya, so it involves a plays, structured yung offense, and he's moving along the place, and nagugustuhan niya ng mga teammates, and that's how Meralco is, and that's what is working for them right now.
Now, moving forward to the team that has the most wins so far in the Governor's Cup elimination round, itong NLEX Road Warriors. KJ McDaniels has been proven and tested after his stint with TNT in the last edition of the Governor's Cup. But now, Diego, it looks like he has, a chip on the shoulder. He wants to prove na, teka, TNT, dapat ako yung kinuha nyo eh. And now, I will try my best to lead NLEX to the finals.
Well, that's true. They have the most wins. They're at 4-1 right now. Although their loss against Phoenix, KJ McDaniels had his probably first off night of this conference. He only had 12 points, 4 out of 15 shooting. So it really goes to show that where KJ McDaniels will go, that's where NLEX will go. So it's really important for KJ McDaniels to try to dominate, especially in that game against Phoenix. Phoenix played without an import for a majority of the game, so he really has to be aggressive all throughout the remaining games.
Now, JV, we know that among the locals nitong NLEX Road Warriors, the player who has been stepping up for them has been Kevin Alas. How important is it na siya talaga yung nagdidictate ng tempo kung saan pupunta yung kupunan? Because he has, 15 points, about 5 rebounds, same number of assists per ball game. And you can expect the same kind of numbers for him playing as a starter or even off the bench.
Yes, he has the confidence of Coach Yang right now, and he's delivering it. And yun yung maganda sa kay Kevin, and he's been aggressive as always, as kung paano man siya maglaro, di ba? Kita mo, very aggressive. And he just keeps on doing it. And after, syempre, those injuries yung nangyari sa kanya, and he still keeps on pushing himself like that. Napakaganda. And it inspires also his teammates, of course. And that's why they are winning right now, because of his leadership and parang backcourt generaling sa court sa NLEX.
JV, I will ask this question to Diego because I don't want to put you on the spot. We know that yung quarterfinals will have the top 4 having a twice-to-beat advantage. Diego, do you think that these 3 teams will be 3 of the 4 who will reach the quarterfinals with that advantage?
Well, I think so. Meralco is a tough team to beat, especially with Tony Bishop. Although with NLEX, if KJ McDaniels will struggle for some games, I think it will be a little bit different for them at the end of the conference. But I think the Magnolia Hotshots and Meralco, I think they have a good chance of getting that twice-to-beat advantage when it comes to the playoffs.
All right, that is your discussion. Maraming salamat, Kuya JV. But hang on, we will be discussing the NBA with you when we come back.
Yep, Kuya JV will still be with us, but after the break. We'll start our series of NBA hot takes per team, and tonight, we begin with Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. So stay tuned for that. You're watching The Game. Welcome back to the game. I'm Diego Dari. In light of the holiday season and the presence of the one and only Carlo Pamintuan, if you didn't know, he's a Mavericks fan, hosting our show tonight, we decided to dedicate a Dallas Mavericks segment for him tonight. As we all know, the Dallas Mavericks are now at 15 wins and 17 losses, good for 8th in the Western Conference Finals. Their two leaders in Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, averaging 25 and 19 respectively, and almost 8 rebounds, almost the same number of rebounds. Luka Doncic averaging 8.5 assists, while Kristaps Porzingis doing some defense down low, 1.6 blocks per game. Now, that being said, we shall give our hottest takes about the Dallas Mavericks, and we'll let Carlo, as a Dallas Mavs fan, react to them. But still joining us for our discussion is 2007 UAAP Finals MVP and PBA champion JV Casio. Kuya JV, welcome back, and the Dallas Mavs fan right here. Are you excited for this button?
So you wanted to punish me for being a guest?
Okay,
host for today.
just to be clear here, I'm talking as an analyst. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings right here with Carlo. So I just want to help Carlo and the Dallas Mavericks. So my first hot take for this one, I believe that the Dallas Mavericks is one solid wing away from being a contender. Meaning, a wing that can shoot three-pointers and a wing that can really play make for this Dallas Mavericks team. I think you would agree as a fan, Carlo, that Luka Doncic needs help when it comes to playmaking. He's getting the bulk of the offense. That's why also he's getting a lot of injuries. And a wing that can also defend. I think they need a wing defender who can stop the star players of the other team. Do you agree as a fan, Carl, as a fan?
I think we need more than just one player to be good, actually. You are actually nicer to the Dallas Mavericks than me. But with the injuries, I mean, you can't expect Luka Doncic or Kristaps Porzingis to play, every given game. So one wing player, if they're complete, yes. Maybe that will make them a playoff team. But in terms of what's happening in the NBA right now, they need to make really creative decisions just to keep their heads above water. And syempre, tatanungin din natin itong si JV Casio na kasama natin ngayon. JV, we all know that your team, the Blackwater Bossing, also, suffering injuries here and there. Ikaw, Baser Amer also, in and out of the lineup. But just how difficult is it mentally to stay in the game knowing that you might not have a full roster of players playing in your next contest?
Sa totoo lang, hindi ko masabi. Kasi as a coach, siyempre mahirap talaga. You have this, parang inisip mo na yung first 5 or second 5, you have that, kung sino ipapasok mo. Pero, di ba, you just work on the pieces you have. And the next man up mentality also is crucial. And for this Dallas Mavericks, with so many players being out, it's hard also for Coach Jason Kidd to do what he wants for the players. And I agree totally with that one solid wing. I think he had that before, maybe few seasons back. I like how Seth Curry plays before with them.
Yeah.
Pero yun lang, medyo undersized siya sa spot niya, but he has that individual capability of scoring, shooting the ball on spot ups. He helps the offense, and I agree totally do sa one solid wing. Kasi if to be a contender, actually, di ba, may big three na kailangan minsan sa isang team eh. So I think that's what they're missing.
Alright, so for my second hot take, I think Carlo will also agree with this one. Luka needs to play better on defense and he needs to get into better shape. I think so. That's what I think. He's still young. I think he has a lot of upside, but that's what he needs to do, and especially now that he wants to have a legacy in the NBA.
Well, aminado naman si Luka na he did not come into the season in the greatest shape possible. But again, as you said, he's young and it will be part of the learning process, not to enjoy the offseason a little too much. He was coming off the Olympics, of course, playing for his home country of Slovenia. So yes, it will be difficult for him to turn it around that quickly. So maybe this season we might not see the best of Luka Doncic.
All right, so for my third one, enough about Luka. We'll talk about Porzingis. Porzingis, medyo hindi nag-agree yung lahat ng fans dito, but I think he needs to develop a post-up game. You know, he's good at shooting. He can put the ball down the floor. I don't want him to be like a Joel Embiid where he's super dominant on the post. Something like a parang Dirk Nowitzki type where he still has a threat on that post and a different kind of weapon for the Dallas Mavericks.
You can't compare anyone to Dirk Nowitzki. I'm very sorry, Diego.
As a Dallas fan.
But yeah, not even in the same sentence right now. But I agree. I think, though, the good thing is that Coach Jason Kidd will allow him to discover other areas where he can be effective. Kasi nung huli nilang coach, as we saw in the postseason as well, he was limited as an outside shooter. And Kuya JV would say na, of course, importante na meron kang big man who can shoot, but you also need to have interior presence because if it's not him, wala nang ibang pwedeng dumikdik talaga sa loob for the Dallas Mavericks. Tama ba, Kuya JV?
Tamang-tama. Sa totoo lang, ang maganda kay Kristaps, yung shooting niya nga nandun. It spreads out talaga. Pero once it switches and kung labas lang talaga, he has to take it inside. Even to a taller forward, he has to bring it in. Parang diin ba? Di ba? Kailangan nag-diin sa post eh. Yun yung hahanapin mo kay Porzingis. Maybe a little more bulk physically, maybe, or a little bit more patience in the post. Kasi from what I see, yung patience niya sa post, medyo wala pa. Yes. He's looking to shoot it right away and maybe he has to work on it even more.
Especially pag mismatch, no? So we'll go on to the fourth take. I'm not sure if Carlo will be happy with this one. The Dallas Mavericks won't make it to the playoffs this season, especially with Luka Doncic out, Kristaps Porzingis out with injuries or COVID protocols. It's just gonna be tough for them because they're not that deep for them. They're 8th right now, but I'm not sure if they're gonna rack up wins without their two superstars.
Here's my hot take to your hot take. As long as the Los Angeles Lakers also don't make it to the playoffs, I'll be fine. I'm kidding.
Not a lot of Lakers fans.
I'm completely kidding, but I understand where you're coming from, Diego. I mean, it has looked shaky, so unless they get hot, it will not happen for them.
Kuya JV, do you agree? Or may chance ba yung Dallas Mavericks?
That's a good matchup, Lakers and Mavericks.
For the last spot.
So playoff spot for that, yung play-in tournament, that's gonna be interesting.
Yes, pero it's just yung just being complete teams, players being there to play but I think they have still a good chance making it the playoffs because they're not the parang only teams na na-experience yung mga ganong type of unfortunate events. So I think whoever gets the healthiest team again can make the playoffs and be a contender. So,
I agree.
Yun.
Thank you for being nice to the Dallas Mavericks fan right here in Carlo.
Much appreciated.
Kuya JV, thank you for your time. All right, when we return, we'll check in with 2021 Asian Karate Championship silver medalist Jamie Lim. Keep it here, you're watching The Game.
You're watching The Game. Filipina karateka Jamie Lim brought home silver from the 2021 Asian Karate Championships. The SEA Games gold medalist showed a gallant fight against UAE's Sara Alameri as the Philippines ended up with 2 silvers and 4 bronzes from the continental tournament held in Kazakhstan. And tonight, Jamie Lim joins us live to share her experience. Jamie, first of all, congratulations and welcome to the game.
Congrats, Jamie.
Thank you so much. I'm back and thank you for having me.
Jamie, first of all, baka pwedeng patingin naman ng medal. Let us see what you worked hard
Here
for.
po.
Woo!
Ang laki.
That's a big, shiny medal. Congratulations once again for winning it.
Thank you.
Gallant fight in that gold medal match. But Jamie, can you just tell us about the experience of training throughout the pandemic? Kasi huli kitang nakita, nandun pa tayo sa Calamba. You were busy preparing with your squad, of course. Tapos pangatlong tournament yun na, no? You had the Olympic qualifying tournament, you had the Worlds, and now you won a silver medal for the Asian. So what was it like being a busy athlete throughout the pandemic?
Yeah, it was super difficult, especially by the start, because we were in lockdown since last year, since March. So for the whole of 2020, parang nandito lang po kami sa bahay. We were trying to make do with what we have. So super hirap, especially for our sport, especially sa sparring, kasi that's when you need your partners and it's really hard to train for that alone. So for like months, conditioning lang po kami. We were trying to do everything on our own. And then, noong 2021, dun po nagsimula yung sparring ulit. And syempre nakakapanibago po because it's been a while since we've done the sparring po. So the timing, we had to get used to it again and everything was so new. Pero yung mahirap din was also training partners and also fighting the COVID pandemic. So we went to Turkey before Paris po, before the qualifiers. And it was super hard because we were trying to survive it without getting COVID. So many other factors po na together. And like training alone is hard, yun pa dumadagdag.
Yep,
Pero nagtuloy-tuloy naman po and successful naman yung mga training namin. And we've done that for a year and okay naman po.
Yep, so really a lot of preparation behind the scenes, but how did it feel to be part of this competition for the first time and you entered the finals right away?
I'm super grateful because I know it's really hard to get a medal po sa Asian Championships. Like it's very rare that we actually have a medal. And it's my first stint, tapos I got to the final. So I'm super grateful na the training pulled off. And I'm super shocked and super happy because I also changed weight classes from my Paris qualifiers. I used to be in the -68 category, but I decided along with my coaches to shift down to the -61 category. And I performed really well in Worlds and in Asian Champs. And I think I'm in the right weight class now. And I'm just super happy about the results.
Oh, that's a 7-kilo difference, no? So you could really maximize your height and length advantage against your opposition. That was a really good decision from you and your team. But Jamie, can you tell us about the biggest lessons that you learned and what will it take moving forward to perform even better in your upcoming competitions?
So I think the biggest lesson so far, what I learned from World and Asian Championships is that kahit first time, kaya. Like, it's possible, really. Even though it's been a while na wala tayong medalist sa Asian Champs, or usually, kapag World, you usually lose in the first round kasi walang experience. No, that's not true. So, even though it's a long shot, I believe na kaya as long as you really train hard and if you believe in yourself and if you just go there sa mat and believe na kaya mong manalo, kaya po siya. So, I like that mindset going into a tournament, and I believe I'll be doing that for the rest of the year, next year.
We are definitely big fans of Jamie Lim, and we thank you for joining us here on the game.
Thanks, Jamie, and
Thank
congrats.
you so much. Thank you again. Thank you.
Now, let's move on to a bigger fight being experienced by our fellow countrymen. Marami sa mga kabayan nating nasalanta ng Bagyong Odette ang walang makain, walang tubig, walang masilungan at nawalan ng mahal sa buhay. Ipadama po natin sa kanila ang diwa ng bayanihang Pilipino. Sa mga gustong tumulong, maaari kayong magmalasakit sa mga sumusunod na accounts na nasa inyong mga screens. Tuloy pa rin po ang Pasko para sa nasalanta ng Bagyong Odette.
Meanwhile, the MVP group of companies, together with its partners, are in unity in spreading joy and hope this holiday season. And you can be part of this remarkable movement. This time, the National Children's Hospital received a holiday surprise. Let's watch this.
Ngayong pandemya, maraming pamilya ang talagang naapektuhan. at isa mga bata sa tunay na nahihirapan, lalong-lalo na kapag sila'y nasa ospital. Kaya naman minarapat ng Alagang Kapatid Foundation kasama ang Signal Cares ng Signal TV na magbigay ng tulong sa National Children's Hospital. Dahil sa kagustuhan ng Signal TV na maging komportable ang mga frontliners, nagdagdag pa sila ng desktop computers, 2 metal cabinets at isang 3-piece sala set upang ma-upgrade ang Doctor's Lounge ng National Children's Hospital.
Hospital work is really very difficult, but you make it lighter for us because of your help, and we would always be grateful to all of you for that.
Tuloy pa rin ang Pasko ng Pinoy kahit ano pa mang pasakit sa
I would like to express our most sincere thanks to Signal TV for their very generous donation of the TV, Signal TV, and for the sofa and metal cabinets.
Sa handog na ito, naway maging mas masaya ang mga frontliners at ang mga pasyente ng National Children's Hospital. Siguradong tuloy pa rin ang Pasko dahil sa maligayang bayanihan Pilipino.
Dito sa National Children's Hospital, tuloy pa rin ang Pasko. Maligayang bayanihan Pilipino!
Let's do our part and spread the Christmas cheer to our fellow kababayans. You may send your donations to the accounts flashed on your screen or contact us on the following details. Tara na sa isang maligayang bayanihan, Pilipino. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Diego Dario.
And I'm Carlo Pamintuan, and this has been The Game.